Okay, so I just bought the Blackmagic Pocket 6K camera last week, and now I hear that the Pocket Pro is out. That's insane. Roll that intro. Alright, so long story short, last week there was a sale price on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K in Australia on eBay. I recently sold a few cameras and a few lenses that, I wasn't using, and I used that money to get the Pocket 6K, and then this bad boy shows up, the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro. I mean, look at the body, it looks fancy, it looks awesome, it just looks like the new Buzz Lightyear. Now in Australia currently, this camera costs around $3,900, and so for the price of the Pocket 6K, this is about a $1,000 upgrade. Yes, I know that it has cool features and some nifty quirks to it, like a built-in ND filter, a 1500 nit screen, but come on, it's the same Super 35 HDR sensor that you get out of the Pocket 6K camera. And besides the internal ND filter, you can pretty much add a few of these things to the original Pocket 6K, such as a battery grip, a tilter screen that can actually flip all the way up, as well as an external viewfinder for the 5-inch display if needed. As you guys know, I'm a Canon user. I've got the Canon EOS M, the 5D Mark II, the M50, but I've also had a background with Blackmagic cameras like the Ursa Mini, the original Pocket, and the Pocket 4K models. My first impressions of the Pocket 6K is nothing short of amazing. Like, honestly, this is a wicked camera for the price. Straight out of the box, you get 13.7 stops of dynamic range, 6K resolution for BRAW, and a range of different recording options and media input. Now I paid 2,400 Australian dollars for this cinema camera, and I have to say that I'm really amazed of its potential. You can easily get the film look out of this camera whether you shoot B-RAW or ProRes. Just get some good lenses and good lighting and watch this thing do some magic. Now I haven't shot much with this camera, but I have to say that if you're moving from a DSLR camera or just a photo camera and you want to get a cinema camera, then the Pocket 4K or the 6K are going to be your best bet for the price. Here are some shot samples that I've taken so far shooting 6K B-RAW and then downscaling it to 4K. All of these were graded briefly in DaVinci Resolve, and thanks to the codec and the 12-bit depth, the footage is so malleable and easy to grade and correct. Also, just a reminder that these clips can be downloaded in the description, so go ahead, download them and see what you guys think. Now looking at the gear, you guys are probably thinking, what's that thing on the body? Well, this is an army skin. It's like a sticker that you place on different sides of the camera. I use this to protect the body from scratches and just give it an overall cool look, something to be proud of. If you're going to drop the camera, if you scrape it on something, you're not going to risk as much damage thanks to the skin. So I really think that this is valuable. If you plan on selling this in the future, you can really preserve the body. So the skin is a must in my opinion. Now as for the cage, I'm using a half cage as I don't want to make this camera more bulky than it is. I also use a neck strap to help me stabilize my shots, and to me this current setup feels so easy and comfortable when I'm shooting out in the field. Now speaking of battery life, I have to say, and I have to agree with the majority of other users, it is quite poor. I do carry around 8 to 10 of them, but they drain quite quickly. You can get roughly around 2 hours shoot with 10 batteries, but I'm using the typical LP E6 Canon batteries, and these ones have a larger capacity than the stock ones. They're around about 3200 milliamps in comparison to the original 2000 milliamps, which drain more quickly. Now to overcome the battery life, what I've gone ahead and done is purchased a dummy adapter. This is an LPE6 dummy adapter to DC cable, which will allow my monitor to power the camera using larger capacity Sony batteries. On the side here, you also have a 12 volt power, which you can use a 12 volt to USB-C, and then from that you can pretty much, you know, power your camera via power bank, which are tiny, better alternatives to larger VMAT batteries if you're looking for something that's more light and portable in comparison to the bigger rigs. The 5-inch display is also gorgeous on this camera, and in daylight I find that's quite fine. The menu is easy to navigate and it's extremely user friendly. It's probably one of the best menu interface screens that I've ever used on any cameras, including the Ursa Mini 4.6K. Now, as you guys know, I also shoot with the Canon EOS M. It's one of my favorite cinema cameras for the price. It shoots 14-bit RAW in 1080, 2.5K, 2.8K, and a few other modes with Magic Lantern. The quality is absolutely insane for the price, and I thought, you know, why not do a quick comparison between the EOS M and the Blackmagic Pocket 6K whilst I have these two cameras. And obviously, you know, they're priced differently and, you know, one has more feature than the others, but here's a quick general comparison that I did. The Canon EOS M has a 1.6 times crop factor, and the Blackmagic Pocket 6K has around a 1.56 crop, so not too far apart. With the 1.6 times crop, the Canon EOS M shoots 1080, and the Pocket 6K obviously shoots 6K B-RAW or 4K in ProRes. Now, I've also found that the 2.8K RAW on the Pocket 6K is actually pretty nice, and so I thought, you know, why not compare that to my Canon EOS M, which also shoots 2.8K. So here are the comparisons. Let's see what you guys think. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. That's my general thoughts or general impressions on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K for owning it, you know, less than a week. So I hope to push this camera more to its limits and just see what it can bring out. But I also love my Canon EOS M. That's like my favorite mini cinema camera on a budget. Now, if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. I'm going to cover a range of topics like cinematic lighting, cinematic grading, pretty much everything to get you guys better with your video skills. You know, I've got lots to share, and hopefully I can, you know, pour that out to you guys. So stick around, and I'm sure that there are lots to come on this channel. See you in the next one.